Hello everyone, my name is Grayson Rubo and I'm the founder at Imprint, where we make bespoke sustainable shoes for women. I just want to thank Brunel and the Entrepreneur Hub for welcoming me back. I remember 2 years ago I was sitting in your position watching these amazing alumni speakers and they had millions of pounds of investment, and I was just thinking, like, I'm going to be them in 2 years and I'm going to be super successful and everyone's going to know who I am, and this just definitely hasn't happened, but Brunel has welcomed me back anyways, so thank you, and I'm just going to jump into it and share my story. So let's share the screen. Let's go. All right, so first I'm just going to share a little bit about Imprint and how everything got started during my time at Brunel. I'll update you on what I've been up to since I've left. It's only been about 5 or 6 months. I don't know. I've just completely lost track of time since COVID. I think it's been that long. And then I'll just give you some tips on what's really helped me starting out. So Imprint is an online platform that uses mobile 3D scanning and 3D printing to create custom flats for professional women. Now, we're trying to address quite a few issues in the footwear industry, but the biggest of them is that sizing is not reliable. There's so much variation between brands and even within brands that you really need to try on every pair of shoes before you purchase them. This is especially a problem for people that have specific foot conditions that affect how shoes fit. So about 2/3 of us have some kind of condition. It could be wide feet or narrow feet, bunions, arches, some kind of condition that affects how shoes fit. And sizing is not a very good predictor of whether or not that shoe is going to accommodate your condition. There's also been a lot of restrictions because of COVID-19. So many stores are not allowing you to try on shoes in store, and we don't really know when that's going to change. Also, when we think big picture, the footwear industry, need to be a lot more sustainability considerations. So it's a very wasteful, a very polluting industry. That's something that needs to be addressed. So at the end of the day, people just want comfortable, stylish, versatile shoes. So we notice that there's a gap for shoes that promise a reliable fit, that are comfortable without sacrificing on style, and that are also sustainable. So Imprint does this through our custom fit shoes. We also have a modular design which allows for interchanging of parts and versatility of style. Now that's really great from a style perspective, but it's also important for a sustainability perspective. And it's important because it allows us to reclaim materials at the end of the shoe's life cycle. And for us, that means that we can recycle the materials and turn it back into filament for new shoes. So the way it works is a user creates their account online, they select their style, and then using their mobile phone, they scan their feet. That scan is automatically uploaded to their account, and then they go ahead and pay for their shoes. On our end, we use their scan data to build a model of the shoe around their specific data points. Then we go ahead and print the shoes on our 3D printers, we assemble the upper material on it, and then we send it back to the customer. Now, admittedly, it is very early days. We're doing prototyping and user testing at the moment. We'd like to continue over the next 6 months doing user testing and refining our design, and then we're planning to launch in spring, summer 2021. Now, this all started during my time at Brunel. I was just interested in making myself a pair of custom shoes, and it was much more difficult than I thought it was going to be. And so I started to explore the idea actually through my coursework and combining the two things. So I did this with my sustainable design courses and looking at how to redesign sneakers. I also reached out to my course tutor and I said, like, look, I kind of want to do some modules outside of the proposed schedule. Can I do some optional modules in CAD modeling and engineering and things like that? And he said, you know what, if you can make it work and it works with your schedule, go for it. And I think you'll find that a lot of the Brunel professors and course tutors are quite flexible because they really push for interdisciplinary study and collaboration, which is one of the great things at Brunel. So you can see, like, I took a CAD class. To this day, I don't know how I didn't fail out of Brunel because it was really shitty quality, but I learned so many of the foundational skills that got me to where I'm at today. Also, when I was at Brunel, I had a lot of help from the Entrepreneur Hub. Mike and Emmy and Emily were really helpful in giving me some tools and giving me different perspectives of this idea. And they also encouraged me to apply for the venture competition. And that was a huge milestone for me, not because I won money, I didn't, but I actually won something much more valuable. So I got feedback from a panel, but I also got a place on a pre-accelerator called Fast Forward. which I'll talk about in just a second. So I finished up my time at Brunel, and then it became time for me to join this accelerator after I graduated. So Fast Forward was a really intense 6-week program. You work with people in the startup community in London, mentors, other startups at a similar stage, and it really helped me take this idea from something academic to something more of a business. And they encouraged me to like move out of this mindset of just thinking about things and actually just start printing. So I saved up all my money, I got a loan from my parents, and I bought myself a 3D printer. And the last 6 months have been very much about printing, understanding what skills I don't have, understanding that as I grow a team, who needs to come on board to kind of balance out my skill set. And that's been a huge learning process. I'm also really happy to be part of Brunel's graduate entrepreneur scheme, which allows international students to stay here in the UK for 2 years to develop their business. So I've just started that, and I'm happy to chat about that another time. So that kind of leads me to where I'm at now. I wanted to leave you with 3 things that have been really helpful for me in this entire journey. So the first one, network with a friend. And it has to be the right friend. It can't be someone too quiet or too overbearing or someone that just wants to chat in the corner. I like to think of networking a bit like dating. Like, you don't go alone to a bar. Like, enter into someone else's conversation and then ask for someone's number afterwards. Like, it's just weird and it's a bit creepy. And I find networking kind of feels a bit like that, versus if you come in with a friend, you have a natural conversation. If you get along with the people, great. If not, at least you've got your friend there, and like, there's not as many awkward silences. And I just find if you get the right person to tag team with, it just ends up being a lot smoother. So second thing is to sign up for things that hold you accountable. So we're so used to like being in university and school, you always have deadlines. And as soon as you leave university, you don't have that same structure. And sometimes you're not strong enough to keep yourself to a structure, like things come up. And so I have found that signing up for competitions, going out for coffee with mentors or people in the community or friends holds me accountable, because if I don't get shit done and I don't have things to share with people, I just look like a dumbass. So I just purposely have to get things done so I look, I don't know, productive. And this has actually been really helpful for moving me along when I don't have motivation. And then the last thing is to grow your team as soon as possible. So the fact is, we don't all have the skills to make our business, or we don't have all of the skills to make our business amazing. You need to have other people on board. And also, I think this goes back to accountability. Like, once you have other people that are investing their time and their energy, you want to make sure that for them it's worth it. So you end up putting in the time and you end up putting in the energy, and it just makes your business move so much quicker. Yeah, so those are the 3 tips I have. Again, my name is Grayson Brubo. Thank you for listening, and I'm happy to take any questions.